Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to talk about why lowering the rims for the WNBA will not help any. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next videos. So we did a short on this when we first started our channel, and that was in April, but we never did a full video on it, and a lot of people probably have not seen that one. So we're going to do another one here because I saw that in a comment recently where someone said the women won't do what they need to do to make the league better, and they listed lowering the rims as one of them. And I'm saying that's wrong. It's a common misconception, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, the women don't want to lower the rim. So they're not going to do that. In fact, there's all sorts of quotes that you can see where women are getting interviewed and the men say, why don't you just lower the rim? And they're dead set against it. Brianna Stewart, and then there's one with Candace Parker. And then Candace Parker says, my kids are going to be slamming and jamming and going. No, they're not going to be jumping that much higher. Okay. Yeah. So,
but we get a point what she's saying.
She thinks she's dreaming. Okay. It will increase, of course, through each generation, but not one generation. It's going to make enough of a difference. So first of all, you have to understand that the average WNBA woman is 6 foot. The average NBA player is 6'6". If you're taller, you also have longer arms and bigger hands, and men have bigger hands than women in general. In addition, the men jump around 9 inches higher. I think it's even more, but that's what they did in a study.
Yeah.
So if you take 6 inches plus 9 inches plus the 3 inches for additional arm length and hand length, that's 18 inches. You would have to lower the rim to 8.5 feet to see the same type of dunks that you see in the NBA that gets you excited. Now, even if you lower them 6 inches, yes, some of the women will now be able to dunk, but they'll be like dunks where they're just barely dunking. And that's not going to excite anybody. The ones that excite you are the ones where the guy really flies over the rim and slams it down. Right, Rob?
Right. Now, also, for me, the main point is that it's an insult. I think it's an insult to women. To try, you can't do this. Sorry. Oh, we have to lower the rim for you guys because, you're not that, you're women. So that's an insult to women. No wonder.
I don't think it is, but they do, and apparently you do. I'll tell you why I don't think it is. The three-point line is closer. The ball is smaller. And in volleyball, men's volleyball, women's volleyball, there's a 7-inch difference between the net height. And they don't find it insulting. So why is it suddenly insulting for basketball players? They're both women. They're both athletes.
Different sport. That's a whole volleyball, basketball.
Concept, Rob.
No. But you're talking about a total different sport where you're just setting the ball up, and all they have to do is jump up and hit the ball down. There's no constant move. I mean, there's movement in volleyball, but there's no like where they have to really get set up and stop for a 3-pointer, or they have to drive to the basket. I mean, it's a total different game as far as with the net thing. I mean, you could train someone for drills, like I said, for volleyball. The main drill would be for jumping, just literally jumping and trying to dive on the floor. Whereas basketball, you have to have all around skills. You have to have jumping, shooting, playing defense and things. I mean, I'm sorry, it's a totally different sport. I mean, it's easy to say that.
The same. I don't see how the sport is different enough to make it insulting in basketball, but not in volleyball. I just don't. They both involve jumping aspect of the sport.
Yeah, but in volleyball, you're just standing there. You're moving. In basketball, you're moving. So if you're moving, you have to know how to jump. But
how is that more insulting? How is that more insulting? Just because they're not moving when they're jumping, as opposed.
Well, it's insulting because now, I mean, there's no shooting in volleyball. So if you lower the rim,
they're not lowering the rims because of the shooting. They're lowering the rims in order to have dunks. Just like you're lowering the rim in order they can spike the ball in volleyball. I really see the situation exactly the same.
So you want to lower the rim so you can see more dunks?
I don't want to lower the rim. I'm saying what men have been saying. They ask the women to lower the rims because they can see zone. I actually like dunks, but I don't watch basketball
Dunks.
because
I mean,
the
I
dunk.
mean, even in the men's game, there's not that many dunks in a game. I mean, there really isn't. There really isn't that many, unless it's like wide open.
I
But I
agree.
mean, unless someone coming to the basket, usually they don't, especially with the defense they play now. I mean, the swinging gate defense, as my coach used to call it. And they let the guy. Back in my day, you're not dunking. If you're playing against me, Mark, you're not dunking on me. Sorry, you're not dunking
Well,
on me.
you can get, but also there's alley-oop passes, which you could have if you lowered the rim to 8.5 feet. I'm just saying that's an additional thing besides the dunk. I'm not saying it would make a big difference in terms of excitement. I'm saying people are making that argument. I don't watch basketball for the alley-oops and the dunks, although I think it makes it a more exciting sport when it does exist. But I only think
I
there's a
mean,
couple plays per game that are like that are really exciting. And a couple plays per game is not enough to suddenly make the sport a lot more exciting. So I agree with you that it wouldn't make a big difference.
also, you'd have to adjust. Okay, so if you lower the rims, like you said, then you have to adjust the 3-point shooting line. Then make it closer or further away. Because I mean,
Further away,
because it's
sure. But
further away because the rims are now lower. So now you got to shoot further. So I mean, if just adjusting the rims is not going to be the solution for making the game exciting. It's gonna mess up you're gonna change a lot of things about the game in the lane. So if you're going inside the lane, you're right. I mean, turn around. It's a lot of adjustments you're gonna have to do. Not just lowering the rim is not just a thing to get things make the game more exciting. It's gonna make it more
no,
difficult.
the other reason that they don't want to lower the rim is because it'll affect their shot so much. They've been shooting on a 10-foot rim their whole life, and suddenly they're shooting on an 8-foot rim, and all of a sudden their arc is completely different and everything else, and they'd have to practice everything all over again. In addition, all the other courts that you go to practice on that are around are going to be 10 feet. So you're looking for an 8.5-foot rim all the time to practice on instead of a 10-foot rim.
You're gonna
And I
forget
know
what
nowadays you can have adjustable rims and stuff like that, but that's still a pain. That's still difficult.
Right. They when the women play, when they start out, yeah, even with little kids, they start out with that little plastic thing where you can adjust it and they can come up and shoot it and around. But then after that, when they reach like around like 7 or 8, they're out there on a 10-foot court and they're shooting the ball on a 10-foot rim. Like I said, even though like they're pushing the ball, but they're shooting the ball not an 8-foot rim. They jump right to a 10-foot rim. And with the women, the ball they use, they don't usually use a men's ball. So actually, I think the smaller ball might hurt some of them because our hands are smaller, but they're used to playing to a bigger ball when they're playing, when they're playing basketball.
I don't know. Either way, I don't think it's insulting to them. They think it is, and you think it is, but I don't think it's insulting to them for the reasons I just gave. But I do think it wouldn't solve the issue about making it more exciting. If they want to make the game more exciting, they can do what people have been recommending all year that finally put some eyes on the league and quit having the league be so physical. So the athletic beauty of the athletes and the ones with talent can shine through, which is the same concept that exists in hockey and in basketball when they were like in the 80s where there was like too much grabbing and thuggery from the Pistons and things like that. And even in football where they opened up the game a little bit, there was too much. And then so sports have done that all the time to try to make the sport more exciting, to let the athletic ability shine through. And that's what people like. They love the aesthetics of sports and great athletes. And they're hindering that with the thuggery and the prison ball and the over physicality that they're so proud of in the WNBA. And that's how to make it more exciting.
That's true, but then okay, so they open up the game, but like we keep on pointing it out, they got to work on their game. So okay, they open up the game where when they drive to the basket, it's going to be a foul, but you can't even make a layup. How about making a layup? That would make the game more exciting. And we were just kind of talking about just casually on the phone, like it's so weird when we're watching an NBA game, like, oh geez, there's a layup, he made it. And it's just like, and then they watch the WNBA wide open. The girl the woman has a wide open, and she can't even hit a 2-foot shot. Like, come on.
How about a post move instead of just like throwing it up from the waist?
Yeah. Or throwing up your own shot and get your own rebound like Reese does. I mean, that would make the game more exciting too. Yeah, the physicality, you're correct, but okay, we'll open up no more physicality, but okay, are you going to make the layup? Can you do that?
I agree. And we've talked about that before. Those are the two things that would help the game the most, is for them to practice more. And 2, take out the physicality. And lowering the rim is not going to solve the problem. Yeah. And we've talked about this before, in the WNBA at least, they need to change their attitude. They're just not real likable. So the players, and and we've seen how they treated Kate and Clark. Even when they got players that could increase the popularity of the league, they try to hold that person down, and so it's counterproductive. And that's just
Seems
the
like
way
sometimes they're not having fun. I mean, it's okay to be intense. Sometimes it looks like they're not having. I mean, basketball is supposed to be fun. It seems like, you can tell the difference between which players are having fun playing, and the other ones are not enjoying it. I've noticed that too.
Right. And we've seen women in other sports capable of great physical feats. So we know women are great athletes and can perform great in all different ways. So they're perfectly capable of it. So I'm not putting women down as athletes. I'm saying they need to practice more because they're perfectly capable of it. I'm actually praising them. So you can just tell how, in other sports, how there's so many great athletes in women's sports. And there's popular athletes in other sports too because of that.
Why that's why I'm trying. That's my point, Mark. That's why I think it's kind of a slap in the face when you want to lower the rim, just because of the reasons you stated. They're very athletic. Are you going to baby me? Oh,
well, they're not going to be able to dunk for generations away, Rob.
Yeah, only a few can dunk, but who cares? Dunking to me is overrated. Big deal, you can dunk, but can you shoot? Whatever.
Right.
It's all around game, basketball.
Although Rob could dunk when he was younger.
Yeah, I could. Not now, though. I can barely jump over a piece of paper.
I could dunk on an 8-foot rim.
See, that's
probably a 9-foot rim, but not a 10-foot rim. No way. No. Anyways, let us know what you think down below in the comments. Some people really think they're going to lowering the rim will work, and I don't think it does. And I think it would change the game way too much. 8.5 feet, you'd have to lower it in order to be the same thing that you see in an NBA game. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do. And yeah, don't get Rob upset.
Yeah.
Subscribe. And join us for our live show every Monday, except for major holidays, 6 to 8 Eastern time. And you can call in for that show. So it's pretty cool. If you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.